Good morning everyone. It's Saturday the 27th, I think it is today, of February. Thought I'd do a quick allotment update stroke tour. Ground is really starting to dry out now, so it's hopefully going to be an opportunity to get some work done today and over the coming weeks, and also hopefully the temperatures will continue to stay mild, although this week we've had frosts 3 nights, not very hard, only down to about -4, but enough that if we'd had anything tender out it would have probably not done it any good. So I don't think we're going to be planting anything just yet, but I do want to, one of the jobs I want to do is try and get in amongst what's left of the kale here. I think what I'm going to do today is take the cover off completely and then have a look, because you can probably see it's now reached the top. It's flowering. I don't know whether you can see that. It might help if I just turn the thing on the camera to macro. I don't know whether you probably can't see that, but it's starting to flower. So I think we've had everything that we're going to have off of that. I will have a good look and see if there's anything that we can have over the next couple of days as a vegetable with our meals, but I don't think we're going to get very much. But having said that, take you over to the purple sprouting broccoli. That is really starting to do quite well. Just see if I can see a head of it. I can't, but oh yes, there's one down there, look. You can see that. We've had meals off of this, so this is now kind of come in and has caught up the Cavolo Nero, so that's good. Got a new fruit tree, got a pear tree in, put it in a couple of weeks ago, and didn't have the opportunity to film it. I don't know if you can see that, but it's one called Burr Hardy, which is I think it's a sweet dessert pear. So obviously I'm not expecting that to do very much this year, as it's its first season, but hopefully we'll get something off of the plum tree. This is supposed to be a dwarf plum, so it's not just a small tree, it's supposed to be a small tree this year, and we had good crop of apples last year, so I'm hoping those will do the same again. I've been trying to prune back the gooseberries a little bit. It's a little bit late to be doing it, but there's quite a lot of old growth in there. This one still needs a little bit more work, which just cutting out the old growth and generally tidying up the structure of the bush. With gooseberries, ideally you're looking for quite a cup shape to them, to allow the air to circulate around the centre to stop things like mould and mildew getting in. So that's the general idea. So I've been working on those as and when I can, and it's been dry enough to get on the fruit bed without compacting the soil. One of the things I did find when I was doing one of the other bushes, and I'll take you around and show you a stick in the ground, which is not going to be very entertaining. You can probably see there's a marker post there, and you can see just above the tip of my finger, a little circular, I hope is going to be another gooseberry bush. I think it was this one here, where it had spread so far, it's actually put out quite low. You can see there's another one there which hasn't done it yet, probably will do. So the lateral branches, which have actually, where they touch the ground, they've actually taken root, a bit like a strawberry runner does. So I didn't realise that, and I actually pulled that one out of the ground, and I thought, oh, I wonder if I can kind of make a hardwood cutting out of it. So that's what I hope, that will become another gooseberry bush from a hardwood cutting. I'm going to see if there's any more, because what I might do if there is actually peg them down properly and treat them as you would a regular runner anyway. This is a plastic bag in the middle of the fruit bush. I don't know where that's come from. I'll grab that in a bit when I've finished filming. Otherwise I'm not going to do too much more than that today, I don't think. I want to just measure out where, because if you remember, I think it was the last video, I said I'm going to kind of swing this round by 90 degrees. I want to measure out the broad area where that's going to be, because I want to put some lime down for the brassicas, because they need a bit of lime to help stop club root, and generally it's good for them to be in a slightly alkaline soil. So I really want to measure that out so I know where it's going to be. And the other thing they like is quite compacted ground, and they don't like to be in loose ground. And I do want to at some point just either lightly rotivate this, or maybe just run over it with a hoe, but I don't want to obviously do that on the bit where the brassicas are going to go. I'll just keep that as flat as I can. So I just need to measure that out and possibly mark it out. I might even move the posts around depending on how far I get with the brassica cage today, just so I know where that's going to be for future reference. I think I've ordered brassica plants this year rather than growing them from seed, and they're due, I think it's mid to the end of March, so hopefully I can get everything prepared for when they turn up, and then depending on what the weather's doing, maybe put them in the ground, or maybe just bring them on in a potting shed. I think last year I put them under the cloche, you remember it was covered with plastic, so I might do that again, but we'll see. I'm not quite sure yet. I think it's going to largely depend on what the prevailing weather is. So just a quick update for you. Hope wherever you are your weather is good or better than this. I think I can feel spring in the air, although it's still a month before spring is due to officially start, but it's good nonetheless. So hope you're having a good weekend. Take care, and I'll speak to you again soon. Bye bye now. So that's the posts in for next year's brassica cage, and I'll just show you kind of, so that's where I'm finished obviously clearing, and whether if I stand still for 5 minutes. So as you see, I've kind of rotated it around 90 degrees. I need to level out the posts a bit and so on, but broadly they mark where it's going to be, and then this will be potatoes here, and possibly, depending on how far the seed potatoes go, a row between the edge of the brassica cage and the shed there, so cross like that, but we'll see. So I think it helps me kind of visualise space a bit, which is why I wanted to kind of mark it out today. It's the same width as it was. I measured that. It's slightly longer than what was there, because that went all the way to the end originally, where the broad beans were, and it had cabbages and cauliflower in, and as the cabbages and cauliflower were harvested, I kind of just thought it's actually no point in having a huge great big cage, because I could use that spot for something like the broad beans, so I shortened it, but I've extended it because I'm going to have, I think, the same number of plants in there as I had last year, so kale, cabbage and cauliflower.